It's good to see you again. Obviously today's loss was against a good side, but I think we saw Watford and Burnley picked up wins. Are you in any way alarmed right now?
I think it's about us, what we can do. Focus on the next training, next game. I think that's the most important thing. We've done that the whole season, last 3 seasons, so it's only about us.
We just said there it's about you guys, but I think the next 3 games are against that relegation rival. So is there a possibility you might go for a tactical change as the attacks have been kind of toothless in recent times?
Yeah, I understand what you say. Playing Arsenal away, fighting for top 4, playing City away, relatively good side, didn't create that much. So of course, I think Crystal Palace, I think we created enough to win the game. So I'm not too worried about that. Of course, I'm aware that we need to create a bit more if possible. I still think that what I said before, that extra quality, I'm sure that will come with, for example, Josh. It was a good investment to getting minutes into him today. I know he's a big player for us. He is hopefully available for Newcastle. And then Christian Eriksen is coming back into the team, so, or not back in, he will come into the team hopefully also next week. So I'm convinced that we'll create enough to score goals. It's every team in the Premier League, if you are in the bottom 10, have spells like this that we've been in the last 10 years. So it's a clear pattern. That is it tough to be in it? Yes. Is there anything to do about it? Yes. We can focus on ourselves, do everything we can to get out of it, and don't feel sorry.
So would you say there it's just about getting that one victory to sort of like get that confidence for you guys to keep going and hopefully get in safety?
Yeah, I think 1 victory will do a lot. Definitely, and I don't think that's very far away. I think it should have come in at least one of the last 5 games we played, for whatever reason it didn't. So about keep believing, keep doing what we have done well, and continue.
And lastly, obviously today you think it's a top side today. You defended corners quite well. Is that a real positive you can take out of today's game?
Yeah, thank you for asking, Ahmed. I agree. I think the last 5 games in the Premier League, we've given 0 goals away on defensive set pieces. I think that's a big thing. So that's a big plus. And also, I think, especially first half, we defended very well.
Thank you very much, Paul. That's all from me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jay Harris, please.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, Thomas. Commiserations on the result. Can I start by just checking on what happened with Matthias Jansen in the first half, please?
Yeah. Hi, Jay. Yes, dead leg. Of course, we'll assess him tomorrow.
And then, what was your just thoughts on the game in general?
I think, as Ahmed said, we faced a very good Arsenal side. I think they showed why they've done quite well and come quite far this season. I think they're one of the big contenders for top 4. The way they play, especially the first half, I would say. I think we defended fantastic. First half giving no big chances away. Of course, they had the ball a lot and had a lot of set pieces. The big thing were that we gave the ball away too easy, too cheaply. We need to do better there in that aspect. Second half, we're better on the ball, created more opportunities. Unfortunately, in 2 transitions, we need to do better. But also, I would give Arsenal that the bit of quality that Smith Rowe showed and Saka.
Just on Smith Rowe and Saka, you obviously mentioned yesterday to us that how important it was to kind of shut them down. So is it frustrating that they're the 2 players that kind of done the damage for Arsenal today?
I think it's Saka was a difficult one because I think there was bits we could have done further up the pitch. There's a transition where he's almost 1-on-1 with the keeper. It would have been more frustrating if we allowed him to combine around the box or inside, but I think actually we controlled Saka in general all the game quite well. Smith Rowe is the decisive situation I think we need to avoid.
And then also just wanted to ask about specifically Johan and Brian up front. How do you think they kind of work as a duo? I know that today is not an easy game for them, but just over the last few games where they've started up front, what have you kind of made of their performances together?
I think they did relatively well. I think it looked more dangerous second half. I think there was some quite good situation that could have given us more. I think last game was also, we put both of them on against City because they had COVID, so they were closer to do something against Crystal Palace, where Brian also got in some good situations. So I think it looks okay, promising with the two of them.
And then that final question for me, I know you mentioned about, if you're a team in the bottom 10 of the Premier League, you're going to have spells like this. But is there a tiny part of you that's a little bit worried about, not winning in 8 games, or you just remain confident that you'll get through it?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that the toughest thing is to go through these spells, because you don't get natural energy by a win. But it's about, and I think that's it's about staying, how can I say, in these spells, get through it, stay positive, do what we believe in, be consistent, don't go from left to right. I think that is a massive key. And also, I think if you look at the performances, I think that's a positive too. That gives us some confidence that we, it will drop for us the ball. It will get into the back of the net. Of course, we will, suddenly everything will just open up. Plus, the big plus is that actually in a spell where we had more injuries, we still managed to nick some wins. Also, defensively, Watford at home, clear win. I think we got just at the right end of the Villa win, but in both games we are not as strong as we've been in terms of squad and numbers ready as we are now, and hopefully for Newcastle game. So I'm quite confident going forward.
Thank you, Thomas. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Jay.
Hi Thomas, just to take on that kind of theme, early in the season you're kind of building on the promotion last season, playing with kind of out fear and just kind of taking the league as it comes, but the pressure seems to be a bit on now. Is that hitting the players in terms of mindset at times, do you think?
No, I think it's also I don't know how you can say measure fear. We're playing away to Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs. So the narrative is now.
Not this game, but
sorry.
In general.
Yeah, but again, if you look at the last 4 out of 5 games we played, Arsenal, Man United, City, and Liverpool, I think they're relatively big clubs and good clubs, and it'll be a disaster if they lose points to us. And went toe-to-toe, Man United should have gotten something out of it. We played a fantastic defensive game, and then City, we did 60 very good wins against Liverpool. Today, I want more, but we still play against the Arsenal side that done fantastically. So I think it's I still think if you look at us in terms of the other teams that are below us, I still think they would prefer to be in our position. So for me, one game at a time, one training at a time.
But is there a concern in your mind? Your team have been at their best when they kind of got free spirits about them, and maybe they might lose that when there's more pressure on in terms of survival in this division.
I think before the season, one game at a time, try to end as high as possible. I think that's a mindset that will bring us far.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jimmy, please, and then we'll go on to Tony for Monday.
Hi, Thomas. Thomas, on the pre-match press conference there during before the Arsenal game, you spoke about your admiration for Saka. You mentioned it as Arsenal's most important player, and in fact Arsenal's most dangerous player. It's a bit coming home to roost there in terms of superstitious that you mentioned Saka Thursday, and Saka is the player that does the damage there against you today.
No, I think I was just right in terms of he's a good player. We knew that. That he could decide the game. I think he's doing very well. I think he has an even brighter future ahead of him. And I'm glad that Arsenal are playing him a lot, because I think he'll be a fantastic player for England also in the future. Looks like a player with a strong mentality, good abilities, definitely. That's what I can see. Yeah.
And Thomas, finally for me, I suppose the performances have been good, but the results haven't been coming. What would you give maybe for a scrappy 1-0 win at the moment, just to break that sort of mould, just to get that victory? Any way a victory comes at the moment, would you take it?
I would love a scrappy 1-0 win. The last 10 games and the next games, so I always would love that. I prefer, of course, a fantastic top performance, but we are a newly promoted team with the lowest budget that's done fantastic so far in the Premier League, and I'm convinced that we'll do very well going forward. But of course, I would love a win, and I don't care how we get it going forward. We would like to do it in our way that we've done the whole season, and I'm convinced that if we do continue to do that with these performances, it will drop for us.
Cheers, Thomas.
You're welcome.